morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I'm going to be showing you a new item card that, as far as I am aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong about this, though I don't believe I am, but the comment section is open, I think it's completely unique. I think this is an item card that gives us an effect that we've never seen before. Now, you probably won't be surprised to hear that our translation comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet, one of our very, very favourites on this channel, and it's apparently called Smoke Stick, clearly a Team Yell kind of tool. Well, it's a tool. When the Pokemon this card is attached to is KO'd by an opponent's Pokemon's attack, the prize cards your opponent takes for KOing that Pokemon are not added to their hand, but are discarded instead. Now, they still take the prizes, they still get themselves closer to winning the game, but instead of adding the prizes to their hand, the prizes get discarded, and your opponent doesn't get them. Now, one of my favourite things about this, and the card is rotating fairly soon after this comes out, so don't get too excited, but one of my favourite things about this is that it is actually a phenomenal counter against Jirachi Prism Star. Now, we will need a ruling for this in Expanded, I believe, but Jirachi Prism Star basically says that instead of adding the card to your hand when you take it as a face-down prize, you can put it onto your bench. Now, I believe it would get discarded before you had the option of putting it on your bench. That is my reading of the rules. I am not 100% sure about this, and I really do want to see an official ruling of it. But I find it quite interesting that what seems to be a really good Jirachi counter is coming out right as Jirachi is going. Hey-ho. The best thing about this card, the very best thing about this card, is it takes away your opponent's options. We've all been there, right? We've all gotten a bit greedy during a game knowing we're going to take a KO. We've all done that thing where we end up with a very low hand size, more than we should. But we're about to KO, let's say a Dragapult V Max for free prizes, and we go, you know what? We can deal with this. We're all right because we know we're about to draw free prizes. And that's the same as, playing something like a hop. So actually, we feel like we're going to draw out of this and we're going to be okay. This takes away that option. And the worst thing about this for your opponent is that it's going to change the way they think about their turn. They're going to look at their hand and go, ooh, it's not ideal. They're going to look at your free prize Pokemon and go, hang on a second. I'm going to get free prizes. And then they're going to go, oh, wait, no, I'm not. You gain, or I suppose keep momentum by taking KOs. One of the best things about taking a KO is that you get your prize cards. They give you extra options. Not the case here. Now, of course, one thing, and it really is at the moment, I've only seen it used for Jirachi, but one potential fun little combo we've got at the moment is the combo of Oranguru and the Mr. Mime from Detective Pikachu. Now, the Mr. Mime from Detective Pikachu swaps the top card of your deck with one of your face-down prizes. And then, of course, we've got Oranguru here that will allow you to swap the top card of your deck with a card in your hand. So you can use Oranguru to put any card from your hand on top of your deck. You can use Mr. Mime to put it in your prizes. And essentially what this does is it gives you an option whereby you're putting down a supporter card now, knowing that you will be able to draw it later on in the game. Well, this stops that, ladies and gentlemen. This stop, again, I've not seen this done for anything other than Jirachi, which is a very cool use for it, but it takes away the possibility that somebody could. But it does weird things like your opponent might go, right, well, I'm playing 4 Twin Energy, 2 of them are prize, but you know what? I've got enough for now. I have got enough Twin Energy for the minute that I can take a couple of prizes, and I'm sure I'm going to draw them out of my prizes, so that's fine. I can worry about this later. But now, all of a sudden, you can't. You can't worry about this later, because there is going to be no later. Those cards that you pick up could end up just going and being discarded before they ever make their way to their hand. And that's what's so awesome about this. Honestly, I adore this card. I mean, first of all, I absolutely love that we've got a card, and please do correct me if I'm wrong here, that seems just completely unique and weird and new and different and fun. The thing is, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to put this in a deck. You see, it's not about this card. It is about the other options that we've got. Actually, as a quick side note, we don't have many of them, but every so often we get a card like Poi Pole or Beast Ball or things along those lines that let you look at your face-down prize cards, and it's going to be kind of interesting that if we've got a card like that you're using, your opponent's going to have to basically go, well, I'm going to discard the prizes I'm picking up, so I need to make sure I take the bad prizes rather than the good prizes, so I don't have to discard them. But then again, maybe they're playing something like a Zoroark deck, so they pick up a Pokemon so it gets discarded to fuel Zoroark, for instance. There's going to be some weird metagames going on here. But the thing is, we've got a whole bunch of other tools at the moment. We've got Vitality Band that will let you do an extra 10 damage on any of your attacks. We've got Air Balloon and U-Turn Board that will allow you to retreat more easily. Really, this is going down with those niche cards, something like Lucky Egg, for instance. Lucky Egg is a really cool tool card. You attach it to a Pokemon, and if that Pokemon is KO'd by damage from your opponent's attack, you get to draw until you've got 7 cards in your hand. So this is the kind of card you need to put side by side with Lucky Egg and ask yourself the question, do I want to draw until I've got 7 cards left in my hand? Or would I rather have my opponent lose the prize cards they would otherwise be taking? Is getting rid of your opponent's prize cards better than doing an extra 10 damage with Vitality Band? One of the cards that's really been piquing my interest lately is Cursed Shovel. Love Cursed Shovel. That is a new one that just came out in Rebel Clash, whereby if the Pokemon it's attached to is KO'd by damage from an attack, so it's got the same trigger as both Lucky Egg and this, you discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Now, as a general rule, if I'm not playing a single prize deck, I do like this more than I like Cursed Shovel. I think this is a better card than Cursed Shovel, because I think a lot of the time, getting rid of the prizes they're taking... The thing is, when you're taking prizes, I'm trying to explain this well enough. You're often relying on them. You often need them. And sometimes it's not even a particular card. Sometimes it's as simple as, I need one more card. I don't care what it is, I just need to discard it with Ultra Ball to search out my basic and win. So maybe whatever card you draw, you're just going to discard it with Ultra Ball to search your deck for a Crobat, play Crobat, draw a bunch of cards and win the game, but now all of a sudden you can't. And as much as I love Cursed Shovel for the extra milling, I think it's rarely going to be as impactful as Smokestick is here. And that's kind of where I am with Smokestick. I love the card. I love the design. I love the uniqueness of it, bearing in mind we just looked at a Kangaskhan, which is literally colourless Entei. Go check that video out, link in the description. But I do worry that we're not necessarily going to play it over some of the other tools we have. The other thing to remember, of course, at the moment is we've got Tool Scrapper. Tool Scrapper has now been reprinted. Tool Scrapper is back. And the thing about Tool Scrapper is, my opponent is in control. So they play Tool Scrapper, they discard this card, then they get a KO, and that tool's done nothing. Vitality Band, I attach it, I do the extra damage, I have gotten value. U-Turn Board, I attach it, I retreat, I get value. Plus, if my opponent discards it, it goes to my hand anyway. It's like a boomerang, yay! Hence the name U-Turn Board. But something like this, same with Lucky Egg, same with Cursed Shovel. If my opponent plays a Tool Scrapper at the right time, they're discarding this card and I'm getting no value from it. I do think, especially in 2 and 3 prize decks, there are going to be times this is a phenomenal card because your opponent is relying on those 3 prize cards they're about to pick up and they draw nothing and end up losing because they don't have it. My worry is whether this is going to be often enough to justify playing it in your deck. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. Definitely a good, fun card. Definitely a card which is going to be impactful and win games. But is it going to win you enough games to make you want to play it over some of the awesome tools we've already got? That is a question I leave on. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know if you're going to be playing it and what kind of decks you think you're going to be playing it in. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.